couldn't decide between the Alpine Loop and the Trail Loop for my new Apple Watch Ultra for a long time. Let's check both of them out today. Hi, this is David of Tech for Baba, a channel I share my experiences on how technology enhances my time with kids and family as a dad. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Three new watch bands were introduced with the Apple Watch Ultra: the Alpine Loop, the Trail Loop, and the Ocean Band. I don't go into the ocean that often, so in today's video, let's look into the Alpine Loop and the Trail Loop. I've been going back and forth between the two, wondering which one I like better. After using them both for a couple of weeks, I think I know now. I've been trying out the Green Alpine Loop and the Blue Trail Loop. I think both go well with the gray titanium body of the Apple Watch Ultra. Let's look at the Alpine Loop first. First thing I notice is how thin it is. The band is light, about 12 grams. The two connectors along with the hook are all in titanium. On the inside, it's flat with smooth weaving lines going in a long direction. There are these small cloth loops in a lighter shade of green on the other side. They look nice and are functional too. They serve as the anchors for the hook to go into. The hook buckle is curved a little to fit the contour of the wrist. The band can stretch a little bit, but not too much. Let's put it on and see how it fits on my wrist. It does take some getting used to hook and unhook the loop, but I got used to it after just a few days. Since the loop is very thin, it's surprisingly comfortable. By the way, my wrist is about 6.4 inches or 162 millimeters, and this is the medium-sized Alpine Loop. I end up using the fourth or the fifth loop depending on how tight I want the watch to be on the wrist, or how hot or cold the day is. The length works out well for me. It's good that the buckle doesn't end up on the bottom of the wrist, so when I desk dive, I don't scratch up my desk or the laptop. I also like how I could see the matching titanium hook or the buckle when I glance down at the watch. I've run, hiked, worked out, and swam with it so far. The Alpine Loop gets darker when it's wet and dries up very quickly since it's thin, even though the hooking mechanism makes adjusting a little harder, but it's very secure. I find I have to be a little careful to not bang the hook against the watch face when taking it off though. By the way, if you'd like to see my unboxing and first impressions of the Apple Watch Ultra with this Green Alpine Loop, check out the video I'll link here and in the description below. Next, the Trail Loop. It's very similar to the Sport Loop, which is the band I've been using on my Apple Watches for many years. The new Trail Loop is a tiny bit wider. One side is now in a softer material which feels even more comfortable than the Sport Loop. The connectors are now in titanium like the Alpine Loop. There are 4 much thicker Velcro strips instead of 5 thin ones. Instead of a plastic bar, the end of the band is now rounded with a pull loop. The band is a bit thicker than the Alpine Loop, but weighs lighter at only 9 grams. Putting the Trail Loop on the wrist is just as easy as the Sport Loop. It's also very easy to make quick adjustments. The smooth material on the inside make the Trail Loop wear even more comfortable than the Alpine Loop. There are 2 sizes available, small medium and medium large. Both should fit my 162 millimeter wrist. I have the medium large one here. I like how it's long enough to wrap around most of my wrist. I'm not sure if I like this pull tab at the end though, even though it makes taking the Trail Loop off easier. It also tends to get caught in things easier. Usually only 2 of the 4 Velcro strips get lifted off, so the band still stays on tight. The Trail Loop worked just as well as the Alpine Loop when I ran, hiked, worked out, and swam with it. When wet, the color also gets darker and it soaks up more water and takes longer than the Alpine Loop to dry. I plan to share my thoughts on the Apple Watch Ultra after using it for a bit longer, so subscribe to the channel and come back to hear all about it. For now, after a couple of weeks, both the Alpine Loop and the Trail Loop have worked well for me. I like the Alpine Loop for its fresh new look, secure hooking mechanism, and quick drying. However, it's harder to make adjustments. I like how the Trail Loop is much easier to adjust and more comfortable to wear, but this new tab design seems to get caught on things for me. At the end of the day, or end of the 2 weeks, My pick is the Alpine Loop. What broke the tie for me is completely subjective, just the looks. I think the green color of the Alpine Loop complements the titanium Apple Watch Ultra better, and I like how it has a matching titanium hook. The Starlight one looks quite good to me as well. What do you think? Thanks for watching. If you find any part of this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share the video with your friends. What's your favorite Apple Watch Ultra band? I'd love to know what you end up getting in the comment section below. If you want to see more videos on how technology can enhance our life with kids and family, please subscribe and turn on the bell to be notified when I put on my next video. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, remember to cherish